Today we're going to talk about interview question, specifically whiteboarding. And in this concept, we're going to use whiteboarding by Google, or known as the Jamboard. So let's see the simple question. Write a function to convert a name into initials. The input strictly takes two words with one space in between them. So in whiteboarding session, a simple question like this can be confusing. At the same time, it can create a panic or nervousness within you. But remember, in a whiteboard session, they are not going to ask you to write the strict or perfect code. You can even simply define them by sentences, words, even like syntaxes. So let's go with simple wording structure. Now let's see the requirement for this question. The output should be two capital letters with a dot separating them. It should look like this. For example, Sam Harris should become S full stop or a dot notation and capital H. So if this prompt was, or this explanation was not given to you during the interview, you should ask, okay, the interviewer, the main question, okay, how do you want the output, as a function, or do you want it as something else? If not, for example, you can even ask, okay, what input does it take? It takes two words. If this explanation is not given, you should ask your interviewer these prompt questions. Even ask, okay, whether the input you're giving is Sam Harris, within the first letter being simple and the second letter being capital, or without any space, or both letters being capital, first letters being capital. These are prompt questions if the explanation was not given. But here the explanation is given and it's clear, and they have given an example. So the input will be always Sam Harris. Likewise, for example, it can be James Wong or Sam Daniel. So there will be the first letter of the first word and the second letter, the first letter of the second word will be always capital, as well as there will be a space in between the two words. Okay, now let's see how we can write the pseudo code in simple, right? So as you can see, first we have to split the array. So it takes this entire word will be taken as an array for this function. So let's split this array, meaning we have to split the first word and the second word. And save it to a new array. And third, get the first element in the array and get the first letter of it. And make sure there's something missing here. So let's say if it comes like this, what if it's like Sam? What if the input, let's say, is like Sam Harris? So let's say the interview says the input will be like this. Then what do you have to do? Then we have to get the first letter of it and say capitalize it. And save it to variable X. Again, get the second element in the array and get the second letter of it. And if there's a similar incident where it is a simple case, then we capitalize it and capitalization and save it to variable y. Now simply join x and y. So you guys don't need to write the entire code, the syntax. Simply explain it to the interviewer in simple sentences. It is a valid explanation, unless if the interviewer specifically at least give us a syntax. I have given you how to approach this. First, a function to convert the name into initial. So let's say function, we say abbreviation name, we open up name, this is the input. Split the name into an array of words. So we create a new array and we use the split method on the name array. Extract the first initial and convert it to uppercase, similar to this. And we are saving it to the constant first initial. And again, we are calling the index method. We'll get in the array, we'll get the first element and the index of the first letter by using the bracket notation. And dot, we call a method called to uppercase, and we calling the methods, so we just leave the open parentheses here. Similarly, we do it for the second one, and finally we concatenate the initials with the dot separator and return the result. First initial and the second initial. And please note here we are using the ternary operation. This is all for this interview question or whiteboarding session. Until we see you next time. Thank you.